Welcome back to season 2. This is episode 2 of Fixing a Subscriber's Lawn. I'm back here on a 3-week follow-up, exactly 21 days from when we applied the soil. Now here is that lawn. You can tell from here's the before picture that we're definitely making an improvement here. Remember, it was real thin when we came close up. You can see this middle area had real bad compaction. So as you can see, of course, there's still some thinner areas filling in, but we're recovering well. But one thing that slowed this lawn down that I'm noticing as I'm looking over it, which is that we actually have sod webworms. Yes, which is crazy this early in the year, but there's a lot of chew marks going on these blades. This is a small example. But as you can see, once we look everywhere, almost every blade has somewhat of a chew mark on it, which is crazy. And you know, did it come in with the dirt? I doubt it, because I don't know why they would just live in dirt without grass, but maybe. But you know, that's what's happened. Whether you bring in dirt or not, you're gonna have. Now, another issue I noticed that we are having is not just with the sod webworms, but we have some gray leaf spot fungus as well. So we're starting to get some signs of fungus on this grass. So even though we've done all this, now we're having gray leaf spot fungus and sod webworms, and that is definitely slowing us down. And you know, why would this happen after? It's hard to tell, but it's definitely slowed some of the growth, and the majority of it's in this stressed area that was already stressed. So as you can see, the growth and filling in has been a lot slower than that other yard, but you can majorly tell the difference. Now, what I'm gonna do today is I'm going to absolutely get these areas treated. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna mix a fungicide and an insecticide together and spray this entire lawn with it. And then I'm gonna follow back up to see, because once it's doing better, once we don't have pests and we don't have fungus, which is definitely stunted the lawn, but because we've done all that soil, I mean, we're still looking really good. I'm gonna probably add more fertilizer to give it the boost, to get it to speed up. Now, that's not gonna be the right move to do when you have active fungus and pests. So I'm gonna show you, same thing over here. You can really see this gray leaf spot fungus starting to do work here. And that can definitely be from a lot of the soil. It's not used to holding as much water, and aerating things is stressful on the grass, and I did give it a little bit of fertilizer. So, and then you're actually seeing here, we have the sod webworms again. These are baby sod webworms where they eat the green off the leaf blade here. And you can see where eventually they start to chew holes through. So something that can definitely happen. This was a real problem, dry area. As you see, we're definitely getting in the right direction, but that fungus and pests have slowed us down, and we need to get these treated. And then I'm gonna fertilize these areas to pick them back up. So, this isn't exactly where I'd like to be because of the pest and fungus, but that's why I follow up, and I want you guys to know, like, this stuff happens. We're here, our warm season grasses, a lot of things happen. And I really hope you watch the season 1 and you can see the difference of where they come along from the same time frame from season 1 to season 2, even though I did the exact same thing. Because that's just what's gonna happen, guys. I mean, seriously, you're not always gonna get the same result. So I don't want you to feel like when I did the season 1, if your lawn doesn't look like that and looks more like this, that's okay. And this one, again, had a little bit more different issues. It had a lot more compaction, and it started with a lot of that chlorotic stress already. So it's definitely going to take a lot longer when the lawn is a bit stressed, but it's okay, because I love that I get to show you this, that hey, we did the soil job, and then boom, something came up. We're going to treat it and address it, and then come back, fertilize, and I'm going to show you at the end of both seasons, our lawns are gonna be looking the same. Even though this one didn't come along quite as fast and there was other issues, we're gonna stay on top of it. We're gonna not be worried about it, treat the issues, and in the 3 to 4 months down the road, both of these lawns are gonna be in the same spot, even though the 3-week follow-up was in a very different spot. So let me get this mixed and show you treating this, and then we're gonna follow back up and see how it looks. All right, so I went ahead and treated the other side first. My camera was overheating. So I'm just gonna show you treating this front area here. Got some pretty significant chewing over here. It's kind of all over, but I want to make sure I'm getting everything a nice good soak. And again, this is a mix of both the insecticide and fungicide. So I'm treating pests and this gray leaf spot. I'm treating for these sod webworms and the gray leaf spot fungus all in one go. So I should make sure you have everything a good soaking. You know, it'd be really hard to overdo. You know, we mix these at pretty proper rates, and but you'd rather make sure you're overlapping than underlapping, especially here because these sod webworms are throughout the lawn, and so is this fungus. So I really want to make sure I'm getting everywhere. And when I see a worse area, I'm gonna slow down and hit it just a little bit harder, give it a nice soaking like that, and then I get back up and move on. And again, with this soil coming in a little bit, the soil job's coming a little bit slower. And I said this lawn was stressed already, and pest and fungus obviously stressed it out more. But you're gonna see once we get it treated, I think, you know, I'm gonna make sure before I go, just go ahead and say I'm gonna do it. But I think I'm probably gonna go ahead and fertilize it with some 10-10-10 and really promote some growth, because you can see it's definitely happy in this new soil. But it was growing super compacted and flat, and it's definitely growing up. But like I said, especially from season one, this one took a big slowdown. And I figured it would go slower because of the stress, but I think this fungus and pest on top of it definitely did affect it. But not worried, not a problem, guys. We're gonna get this treated, and you're gonna see we're gonna be right back on track. All right, guys, and that's it. So this has been the follow-up. As we can see from these before and after pictures, the lawn's definitely made some progress. It always looked good from the side pictures, but it was thin in compaction. We can see we don't really have the compaction anymore. Grass is definitely growing upward, but it's definitely a lot slower, and a lot of that is the sod webworms chew and scalp out with the fungus. So between pest and fungus, we got to slow down, but we got them treated today. With these products that I have in my kits, grade A products, I know they're gonna work really well, so I'm confident. But we're gonna come back in 2 weeks and we're gonna follow up, and we are gonna see how this lawn is doing. I believe after these issues are treated, it's gonna be an incredible difference on how this lawn really looks, and you're gonna see that quicker turnaround like we saw in season one. So this has been the follow-up. Check out my DIY kits at bettercallchad.com, and I'm gonna see you in 2 weeks right now. All right, and we are back. We are here for the follow-up after treating for the sod webworms and gray leaf spot. So let's take a look and see how we're doing. Now, with an overall look, the lawn is actually looking much better. But when you do get closer, it is unfortunate to see we're definitely still seeing some gray leaf spot fungus. Looks to be less in some areas and more in other. This is being quite stubborn. You know, usually after a good treatment, like I just applied, I don't really have an issue now. A lot of this sod webworm damage does seem to be to the top of the blades. I can't really see any active chewing. I think maybe I saw like a few. This one's a little bit on the lower blade here, and it's pretty minor chewing. So I think most of the sod webworms are gone, but unfortunately, this gray leaf spot is still active, and we still have these stressed areas. Because this lawn's coming along slower than I would like, I was really hoping to bring I brought some fertilizer. I was really hoping to fertilize today, but because this fungus is still active, I don't want to do that. I think what I'm going to have to do here is apply another application. I'm definitely going to use the Armada for the fungus, And then I'm gonna put, because I have to treat the whole yard anyways, I'm gonna put that triple crown for the sod webworms in there again, just as one more to be sure. So I'm seeing a little bit of activity. It'd probably be okay if I didn't, but if I'm treating the whole yard anyways, it's better to be safe. And I'm gonna do about half the rate than I did last time. This is just a little follow-up, but the lawn is definitely coming along, but man, we are getting slowed down by that fungus, and it's just, like I said, it's better in some areas and worse in others, and we still have these stressed areas, which that is okay, but this is coming along a lot slower, and it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I like to show people, because not every project goes perfectly into as planned, especially if you saw season 1, how great that lawn's coming along, how quickly. I'm confident this lawn will get there, but it's just gonna take more time. It's being stubborn. You know, this area's still getting a little dried out here. I'd really love to get some food down, but I wanna be sure that that fungus is under control, and I'm just not 100% sure. Well, actually, yeah, I know it's not. It's definitely not as bad in most areas, but it's still prevalent. And to play it safe, I'm not going to play it safe, I'm not going to go ahead and fertilize. Let's go ahead and do another treatment of the triple crown and the Armada at half the rate and get this lawn sprayed. All right, I got this stubborn fungus treated again. Again at half the rate, so just a little bit of love. For the next episode, episode 3, where we see how this fungus and these pests got treated. So I appreciate all the videos. Please like and subscribe, comment with any questions, bettercallchad.com. Everyone have a great rest of your day.